Well, hey guys, welcome to our channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. I am Jeff Edmisten. This is my business partner, Ruthie Buck. We are local Virginia real estate agents, and we put out a new video every week about living in Fredericksburg. So while you're here, you might as well go ahead and tap that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos. And we want to encourage you, if you have any questions about living, working, playing in Fredericksburg, you call us or text us. We're happy to get those questions, and we will get right back to you. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the cost of living in Fredericksburg. So anytime you're moving or relocating to a new area, one of the biggest things that you have on your mind is, what's it going to cost when I get there? What is the cost of living? So in this video, we're going to take a look at several different things. We're going to look at the housing, we're going to look at transportation, utilities, all the things that are really important to you when you are moving to a new area. So let's get into it.
Well, and one of the things to consider, like you said, is the cost of housing. In this area, we are substantially higher than most of other areas, the national average for the Fredericksburg area. Part of it's because we're being so close to DC, I suppose. But on the flip side, it's a bit more affordable here than it is the closer you get to DC. And that is not only for purchasing a home, but also when you're renting. Rent tends to be definitely a bit more affordable in the Fredericksburg area compared to the northern cities up towards the DC area.
Yeah, Ruthie's definitely right. It is way more affordable, actually. She said a bit is way more affordable than if you get up close to DC. But we are higher than the national average. Housing here is about 26% higher than the national average. Our median price, median being right in the middle, is $472,000, and the national median average is about $392,000. So $80,000 or so above the median. But like Ruthie said, you start going north to DC, it's going to be substantially higher. I think in that Fairfax, DC area, your median value is about $700,000. So while we are higher than the national average, is still, if you're moving here, you want to live in Fredericksburg because it's a great place to live. And if you're moving here because of work, because of DC, you're probably going to want to go a little further south to get more bang for your buck, and Fredericksburg serves that purpose very well. So the second biggest consideration when you're moving to a new area, and sometimes people actually forget about this to the end, is transportation costs. You know, what's it going to cost for transportation here? So if you are commuting, like the majority of people here are north, transportation becomes a pretty big consideration. So our gas prices on average right now are about $3.17 a gallon, which, you know, is considerably cheaper than when you get further north, like in DC. But it's not horribly off the national average, so that's not really a big surprise. We do have a little bit of public transportation. You know, there is what we call the Fred bus, the Fredericksburg Regional Transit System bus, and I think fares on there started somewhere around like $1.50 or so. It's fairly limited as to where you can go on the Fred bus. It's not, you know, not a wide-reaching public transportation, but it is.
It is limited, but they have widened actually the areas that it does go to now. Because I remember a few years back, it didn't come to my neighborhood, and now it does.
Yeah, so it's getting a little bit better. We have the train too. You know, the VRE. I think fares on the VRE started at about $8.50 or so for a one-way trip. You can get a monthly pass. I think the monthly pass is like $138. So if you're commuting north, that is one option for you, and you need to weigh that against, you know, the amount of time and money you're going to spend sitting in traffic on 95. You will be sitting in traffic on 95 if you're going north, and parking costs. I know a lot of people pay a lot for parking costs.
Yeah, I mean, we also have the commuter lights. I know you're impressed I didn't say slug lights. They are called slug lights here. We call them slug lights in Fredericksburg, but they're commuter lights. So you can park and ride with somebody else up to the northern areas as well.
And share the costs.
Yeah,
share the costs.
So another thing to consider when coming to Fredericksburg is food and dining. The cost of food. It's a little higher here than you know it is nationally. So you're going to pay a bit more for food in this area as well.
You know, I was just thinking, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt that train of thought for a second, that we record a lot of these videos. We love making these videos. We like getting your calls more than we do the videos, but we love making these videos. And it seems like every time we go out to record, it's windy.
Oh,
And when we start, it gets windier. So
I
I
know.
hope the volume's not bad with the wind on our microphones. But anyway, yeah, Ruthie's right. We're about almost 8% higher than the national average for the cost of groceries here. But we've got a lot of options. You know, we have your big chains like Food Lion and Giant. I think they're both regional chains, but and Wegmans is a fantastic grocery store here. So you got a lot of options from more discount like Aldi and Lidl to up to Wegmans, which is I guess one of the nicer grocery stores, if you would. But we also have farmers markets all around the area. Every Saturday in Fredericksburg at Hurricane Park, there's going to be a farmers market. Most of the localities around the city have their own farmers markets, so that's a great place to get locally sourced food. And a lot of times it's cheaper than going.
Oh yeah,
going
and
to a
they're
grocery store.
wonderful because it's all local produce, things that are grown locally to the area. But I mean, you have multiple farming vendors that are there at these places at the farmers market, and I mean they usually I think start back up sometime in March, and it usually runs through about October, November. But spring and summer are just fabulous for fresh veggies and fruits.
Yep. And once you know where they are, you can pretty much shop throughout the week. Like I know on Saturdays downtown is going to be the Fredericksburg Farmers Market, and where I happen to live a little bit south of town, every Thursday is going to be a farmers market. So you figure out which days you can go to different farmers markets to keep getting that fresh flow of fruits and veggies. And they have other stuff too. A lot of times they sell jams and things like that. But speaking of food, there's dining out as well. We have a plethora of options for dining out here. We have everything from less expensive to fine dining. And when you look at the national average for an inexpensive restaurant, the national average is about $13 for a meal for one person. It's about $15 here, so a little bit higher, but not a whole lot. For kind of a mid-range type of meal for a couple, 2 people, you're looking at around $50 or so. Again, not tremendously different than the national average, maybe just a little bit higher.
Yeah. Oh, and just on that note, Jeff's favorite is Orfino. And just so you know, my daughter ate there 2 days ago.
Yeah, what'd she think?
She said it's great.
It is fabulous.
She said it was really good, and she said it wasn't priced too badly, but she said it was very good.
Another big consideration is utilities, but really there's not a whole lot to say because we're pretty on par for utilities. And actually, if you look at the hard stats on it, we're about 1% less than the national average for the cost of utilities. But pretty much what you're paying for utilities, gas, electric, heating, cooling, water, sewer, things like that. And where you are now, you're going to be paying similarly here. For a small 3-bedroom home, I think the statistics show that your utilities are $600 to $700 a month, all total.
I think I'm gonna have to downsize.
Yeah, but Fredericksburg's not really known for its small houses either. We have a lot of big houses around Fredericksburg. But those are the major points that if you are considering relocating, you're probably wondering about. We spend a lot of money on miscellaneous things, and there are even statistics for that. Miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous.
Thank you.
That's what he's trying to say.
That's what she said. Expenses here are higher than the national average, a good bit higher than the national average, but that's really going to vary from state to state. We could break down numbers on everything specific. But those are the things that are really kind of different and most important to people if they're moving here from out of state. All in all, Fredericksburg is a wonderful place to live. We've been here a long time. I've moved away twice and come back and couldn't wait to get back. So it's a great place to live. A little more expensive than most places. Housing, a good bit more expensive. But all of that told, everything factored in, Fredericksburg is about 8% higher cost of living than the national average. So, put that into your budget, kind of figure out if this can work for you. Some people are just coming here because they have to, because they're coming here for work, and this is just informational. For others, it may be they're trying to weigh between here and somewhere else. We hope this information gives you, or we hope this data gives you some information which to make some decisions.
But I mean, on that note, even I've found over the years that even the people who had to come here for something ended up staying, even whenever they retired or didn't have the same job, they ended up loving it.
So that is our take on the cost of living for Fredericksburg in 2023. If you have any questions about this video, anything about living, working, playing here in Fredericksburg, or real estate in general, give us a call, shoot us a text. We get calls all the time, and we love those phone calls. We love helping those people. Like I said before, we are local real estate agents, and more than making these videos, we like helping you. So call us if you have any questions, and we will see you in the next video.